Okay, just briefly, we're going to look at one of the topics that seems to cause students from the past some problems in understanding, and then also being seen in missed questions on quizzes and tests. So I thought we would just briefly go over this and see if that would help clarify things for you, and then you hopefully would understand it, and then also be able to not miss it on quizzes and tests. So what we have here is you can see that there is this is just a portion of the spinal cord, and I'm sure you probably know the spinal cord and the brain make up what we call the central nervous system, CNS, central nervous system. And so what we have here is a stimulus. Now, when I think of a stimulus, something that stimulates something, then you usually get a response, right? It's something that's going to cause a response. And I think it would help if we pick a certain, maybe a life example to help us as we go through this. Maybe, how about if we put our hand on a hot stove? The hot stove would be the stimulus here. And so the feeling of heat, it would travel from what we call a sensory receptor. There's a receptor there in your hand that's going to pick up that message, ooh, this is too hot. And so that sensory receptor then is going to relay that message along a pathway here. This blue is the pathway, so it's going to relay that message along the pathway up to the central nervous system, whether that be in the brain or, as in our case here, from just our diagram here, it would go to the spinal cord. So this is called a signal pathway, but there's a specific name for it. When you have a message that goes from a receptor that's picked up a message, carrying it to the central nervous system or to the spinal cord, we call that an afferent, A-F-F-E-R-E-N-T pathway. So the sensory receptor has noted something. It's going to take that message up to the spinal cord here, or like I said, it could be the brain, depending on what the process is going on. And then something's going to have to be determined here as to what are we going to do about it. And so once it is determined what we're going to do, then a message needs to be sent away from the central nervous system or away from the spinal cord here, back through another pathway that we call the efferent. It's E-F-F-E-R-E-N-T, efferent pathway. And it's going to move that message down to what we call an effector. This is who's going to do the effect that's hopefully going to cause us to pull our hand away from the hot stove. So that effector is going to actually kind of do the response. So, and if you look here, it's kind of interesting. Did you notice that the effector here is kind of stimulating? It's the effector that's stimulating an action to correct something that's kind of got off in the body. We put our hand on a hot stove, and is our body going to be able to maintain homeostasis, a nice stable environment with our hand on that hot stove? No. So all of this is involved in, and I know you've heard that term before, homeostasis, or maintaining a stable environment for, in this case, our bodies. So let's just go through it one more time, make sure that we have it here. So we have the stimulus, hot stove. It causes a sensory receptor to, picks up on, ooh, message there, hand is on hot stove. I'm going to take that message up to the central nervous system. In this picture, it'll be the spinal cord. It'll be determined there in that integration center there, what are we going to do? It's determined, and most likely a message will be sent out then over the efferent, E-F-F-E-R-E-N-T pathway. Again, that's another just signal pathway. We have two signal pathways. This one is the afferent, A-F-F. This is the efferent, E-F-F. And so we go down to the effector, which likely in this case is going to be a muscle that's going to contract and pull our hand away from that hot stove. And again, as I said before, all of this is a great example of the body maintaining homeostasis, which is maintaining a stable, healthy environment. So I hope that helps a bit. If you feel like you have any other questions at all, just give me a call and we can look at this together. And I hope this helps on your study guide and helps when you go in to take your quiz. So thanks for watching. Bye.